Hello. Ah, right, there we go. Bouncy lights. Brilliant. Shouldn't be hard. Is. Right, so let's see if we can get this to work then. So I'm just going to switch headsets. And now if I go to YouTube/JetGame/live, there we go. If we can get this to work then. We're live. I'm going to switch, turn my own volume off. Awesome. Right. And Shalka say something? Oh, wait, I don't have lights.
Do we have echo still?
No. Awesome. Right. And Shalka say something? Oh, wait, I don't have lights.
Do we have echo still?
I think you're a bit louder than me, but that's probably for the best. Right. So let me go into VR and then click on the thing. And then... This is going to be quite tricky. I'm going to have to start it up in VR, which is what I'm doing now. So I've put VR on. Oh. Wait. Alright. I was like, oh my god, they've got finger tracking work on PC. But they haven't. I'm in the Oculus. Now I've got to connect the Oculus to the PC, which is now working. And then I need to start that up. And then I'll need to start a host. And then take the headset off. Oh, wait, hang on. Right, so now turn the headset. Now taking the headset off again, and now I can click on. I think that works. I'm not sure. Well, let's assume that's working. Now I'm going to put the headset back on. I am going to just quickly colorise my car because for some reason... Oh, that's weird. I had to click on garage and then that worked. But I think, in theory, if I hit go and I look at the screen... Yeah, it's spectating me. Sweet. Oh. I've lost my pedals. It's all very professional. Also, so in theory, I don't know how it works, so I also haven't bought a chair. Man, I tell you what, I kind of wish I was a dedicated full-time streamer so I could actually do that. I also had a look at this one, and basically lots of people are going, oh, I don't think you understand, force feedback's not that accurate. I'm like, pretty sure that's not sensible. But I found this with some games, some like really games with, as I say, obsessive, enthusiastic fans. I found that sometimes they'll defend the game when they shouldn't. I found people defending Starbound because the physics of Starbound run at 60, so it won't run at 75 frames a second. It just doesn't work. So people defending this. And hey, Max, I think.
Hey all.
Max, can you just do me a favour? Can you check the stream a sec?
Yep.
Curious how it looks because I can't actually see. And I'm
Lift the speed.
And yeah, but what's it looking at? What's it doing?
Broom broom. It's looking at you. Camera looking at you. Doing around the track.
Okay, just
Yep.
So I don't know.
Alright, let me turn the volume down.
I have no idea if it's just going to look at me or if it's going to look at everyone or how it works.
Well, at the moment it's just looking at you, doing a circuit, I guess.
Yeah, just
like a TV camera sort of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's
Yellow flag.
Yeah, that's my laptop watching.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm hoping it's smart.
There's a really sort of low view, curb sort of view.
Is it just watching you?
Yeah.
Because that'll be a bit rubbish.
Well, I can see Schalke having a go. I guess it's Schalke, right?
Bit Schalke in a blue car, yeah.
Yeah. He's just overtaking you a bit from this point of view, anyway. I don't know. I think it may just be watching the race leader. So try just stamping on the anchors and see if it follows Schalke.
Well, you say that. I've just done an exciting crash. Do we get to see the exciting crash, or does it then immediately change to Schalke?
No. It just saw the exciting crash, and it's not planning on Schalke at all.
Yeah, maybe it's not.
It's just watching you.
Maybe it just watches the host.
Oh no, it's zooming out. You can see both of you going around the corner. Bye-bye Schalke, who's out of screen. It's just you. Wide shot, long shot. Yeah, I think it's primarily focusing on what you're doing.
Well, I mean, I guess I was the first person in. Oh well, that's good to know at least.
Is there no sort of way of making it do sort of the race leader, or any options of controls for it or anything?
Well, I don't know, because obviously right now I'm driving and I've got a VR headset on. But
Oh.
you can join and hit spectate, and you tell me. There might be a button. I did have a brief.
Oh, okay,
look,
that's good.
But yeah, you
Okay.
can just you can be a spectator.
Okay, let me get that up.
So I am doing this on the Oculus Quest. It's interesting. It's the way this
This is
works.
this is hold on, this is the £300 one, isn't it?
Yes.
This is the cheap.
Well, it is cheap, and it's also standalone as well, which is amazing. So as I said, I did. It's called Elixir. It's a game where you have to make potions, but there's no controls for it. You just use your fingers. So you just like do little magic spells with your hands. It's amazing. And it was shocking how quickly I got used to tetherless VR. Really. But if you buy a decent USB-C cable, you can plug your Oculus into your PC, and it just turns into a PC VR headset essentially. The way it works is fascinating because it's currently only supports 72 frames a second. That's changing. But what it does is it actually takes the previous frame from the video card, compresses it, sends it to the headset as compressed video. So this looks good, don't get me wrong, this does look good, but it does look a little bit like I'm watching a YouTube video rather than actual VR. There's a definite...
They've rendered the
slight crunch.
roads on top of the bridges,
Yeah, probably.
which are going underneath. I've got it on Freeview, by the way.
There might be... Oh, well, yeah, but... I mean, obviously I can't...
Oh wow, okay.
I can't...
Yeah, they've rendered the trees and the bushes, and then once you get past the wind turbines, there's like basically nothing.
down the edge
Like
of
grass,
the
green, brown.
down the edge of the straight, you can see all the road signs. You can work out where the artist lives. The artist is British, but yeah, the headset's very interesting. So it's a standalone VR headset. You do not need a PC to use it. You can just download stuff and put it on the VR headset.
Are they? I want to insult it a bit.
Well-
I shouldn't, but it seems like it should be something like simple and dum-dum. If you have to put into a PC to get VR, and you're going, "No, it's £300, do VR on its own." Like, what?
It's interesting. If you look at Vader Immortal, that's on Oculus. But then you realise that in Vader Immortal, it's very cool, but it's a static scene, and you're fighting one other guy at any given point. So they've picked their battles carefully, and it's dedicated. I think it's designed to do this. It's not as good as a PC, but it doesn't need to be. It only does one thing. But the interesting thing to me is the tethered usage. Like I said, I can spot the compression. There's a definite loss of saturation. It definitely has that slightly rainbowy look that video has. But it requires you to plug the USB cable into your PC and then run a test. I'm getting 1.7 gigabits down my USB cable. This is acceptable speeds. 360 megabits is not. So I don't know what video bit rate it's using, but it's lightly compressed. And they've said that they will be improving that. They want to do H.265, I think, using the Snapdragon decoder. So yeah, interesting times. It's oops, let's bring the microphone a little bit closer to the face. But yeah, it's interesting they're doing this, and it is very cheap. But the idea is obviously that there's a lot of stuff you can do that doesn't require a PC. Like if you think about Beat Saber does not require a high-end rig. Super Hot doesn't require a higher rig. Gorn doesn't. So you've got this thing that, well, there's a lot of games that will work just fine in VR. Plus, you don't need any tracking, you don't need any base stations. You can wander around as much as you like, and if the game supports it, you don't even need controllers, which is just bonkers.
Okay. You got a bit of feedback from Core Harker, by the way.
Oh yes.
The game audio is slightly too loud. You're having a job hearing you over the game.
Right. That's it. Okay, I will twiddle that in a second. But I have to take all my. I take headphones off and headset off.
Oh, of course, it hasn't got speakers in that thing.
What has it?
The Quest.
No. Oh, it has, but they are so bad. So they are like little buttons. They're like, imagine someone turned a 1p piece into a speaker, but they don't touch your ears. But it's got a headphone socket anyway.
Oh, okay.
I'm just using my normal headphones. But yeah, the thing is,
Yeah, Kohaka saying can we alternate between people? I don't. Kohaka, if you know how to do that, please tell us how to do it because I don't know what
yeah,
controls are.
I was hoping there was a smart spectator mode. You see?
Yeah. Options.
There is a program that will let you have. It's called LFS Spectate, but I don't think it's a 3D thing, and that's all I could find. I had like a 30-second Google.
Oh, I see. Options for 3D device: VR headset, Oculus Rift, OpenVR, none, single, double.
Yeah.
For monitors. Oh, that's cool. No triple.
No, I think that means stereoscopic. So you can output to any two monitors, and then you can put that to two different eyes. So you can support VR systems that don't exist.
Oh, okay. Sort of future sort of proofing.
Wait, I've just realised, Kohaka, can you hear the? Now is Kohaka hearing the replay, or is he hearing the me? I can describe this. Yeah, but is he hearing?
He's hearing it like.
Yeah, but
well,
remember the laptop,
on the stream, it's
the laptop is playing the game, so the laptop will have it going.
well, that's what you think, but it's not.
Yeah, and you'll hear my game as well. That makes sense. You're probably going to hear it twice because obviously the only way for me to I could probably route it. No. Yeah, I would struggle. It would be possible. I can't be bothered. I then have to route Discord to the stream, but not the Need for Speed game audio. That could be tricky.
Yeah, sounds like a ball ache.
Yeah, all audio is a ball ache, and I was saying to Shark, I'm looking forward to getting this dedicated setup so I can bugger about with the controllers and the steering wheel, so I can't want to play a different game. And then when I get my new video card, when I'm allowed to buy a new video card, I can then get a much more dedicated streaming setup sorted. That'll be good quality. But it's interesting the visual look, because I also have the non-tethered mode, which gives you 90 Hz, much higher resolution, and it's crystal clear. But it's weird seeing all the people on the internet whining about, I don't want to play too much compression or look shit, but it's alright. Like, whining about compression on stuff basically just means, I don't ever watch any YouTube videos ever, because you fucking do, don't you? Okay, let's see if we can balance this a bit. Kohaka, when you say the game, can you hear the, wait. Stop that. Right. Oh, I can't believe that. Let's... Kohaka, I can't listen to this myself. When you hear too much game audio, are you hearing me driving too loud, or are you hearing the too loud? Like, is it the replay camera that's too loud, or is it the in-car audio that's too loud? Nobody else here, Laura?
It is sort of going. It is playing the audio right. It is going left speaker to right speaker. Left headphone, right headphone for the Xiaoka driving like a loony. But when you were doing the track, for example, you would. Oh bloody hell! I thought I was doing myself. The audio was sort of quietening down as you went away, but it wasn't quietening down enough. If that makes any sense. It was still loud even when you'd sort of gone out of frame. So it just needs to turn down a bit, I guess.
I was the one moving.
Oh, that's interesting. It looks like it's trying to play. I don't want to play. I want to join as a. I like that there's no option for join as a spectator.
Yeah, you join in and that's it. You are a spectator.
Yeah. So I don't know how. I've turned on the clock so you can see my clocks, but I don't see how I would switch something else out.
Well, what you need basically is someone else to be watching and actively controlling the view. But I don't think as a spectator you can control who you look at.
I think we
Apart
can.
from just chasing someone around, which is really bloody difficult.
But I'd have to push it down. I mean, what happened there is someone who isn't playing the media stream.
Yeah.
Not brilliant on the stream, is it?
Let me just test and see what the audio's like.
Yeah, the game audio, the input was set to 15. But yeah, replay camera's pretty good, don't know. It's just I don't want it just to watch me. I think I can change it up and down on the keyboard. But obviously that's a bit stupid. I'm quiet, like my voice.
So I just checked, you're super quiet.
Compared to you? Or
Compared to the game, my voice is coming through very loud.
Okay, I will crank me up a bit.
So I just checked, you're super quiet.
Compared to you? Or
Compared to the game, my voice is
okay,
coming
I'm
through
now
very
doing
loud.
another test. I will crank me up a
Okay.
bit.
So I just checked, you're super quiet.
You?
Compared to...
Oh man, now I'm echoing myself back through myself. That was a regretful button to press.
Loopy loop.
Compared to...
Oh man, now I'm echoing myself back through myself. That line. That's a huge. Oh right, because when I unmute to hear myself back, I'm hearing the engine back as well. Again, through myself. That line. That's a huge. Oh right, because there we go. That seems a bit better. I'm just going. So the frame rate's okay on the laptop, but I don't think the frame rate's very good on the stream. I do like it when I catch up on the stream. Just hit playback speed ×2, and it will catch right up. Wow, that's almost playable in real time. Almost. Anyway, I'm driving now. I am talking and testing. So I'm just.
Oh no! Crash.
I keep looking up at the top of the other screen. So I have the stream on a screen. I keep looking up to it, but it's about 5 seconds delayed now. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't sound too bad. But yeah, you guys need to talk as well. I think you guys are balanced right with the game audio.
And you're going off the grass.
That's how I roll. Drifting.
Oh, you're going.
That's how I roll. Drifting.
Oh, you're going.
I'm not too bad. I'll bring myself up another cup of DV. And I'm now talking at plus 5.4. I hate doing it. It's just such a pain in the ass. It just should be awesome. Awesome. Should be automatic rather. It just should be awesome. Awesome. Should be automatic rather. It just should be awesome. Awesome. Should be awesome. I think though the game audio is a little bit loud. Car sound volume 3.9. Let's put it down to 2.5. If I drive with the menu open like this, I can't see. If I drive with the menu open, which you can't see, I don't get any force feedback, which is nice. So I can use that when I'm just messing around. I'm echoing on stream because I'm listening back to the stream. Use that when I'm just messing around. I'm echoing on stream. Use that when I'm just messing around.
Control
Echoing
contact.
Just check it's the right microphone. But yeah, I'm fine. I kind of need to put my hair like this. Just. I think that's not too bad now. It's not brilliant, but everything feels a bit echoey. But yeah, I don't know how to change the camera. I think up and down cursor key might do it. No, up and A, turn, enter, space. Because if I could see, in theory, there isn't really any way to do it because I can't see it because obviously I'm in VR. So anyway, let's go back to VR. Oh wow, it's again. I mean I know I said this so much. It is bonkers how different it is. So I've just been doing it in 2D and I've gone to VR and it's like, oh, everything's in 3D. Right.
Reserved buttons. Tab. Next car. Oh. Car.
Oh, well, in theory, I need to go and get a keyboard, and then I need to drive along with one hand on the keyboard. Just not very practical.
No.
What?
If it's a matter of timing a key press every so often, use a script to just bash that button every so often.
Yeah, I guess. I think I've got to it actually on the laptop.
Just, I can write you a little program and make it an executable.
But
Take moments.
Again, is there not, if you like Google, is there not any sort of, because there is something called Live for Speed TV, because they set up a whole thing, but you think what you would do is you have it, so you have a server that just streams 24/7 and people join in and do races and vote for stuff.
TV director.
I don't think Live for Speed has any mods as such, you say. Otherwise I would be downloading so many custom cars and tracks. But one of the other things people are pointing out, one guy suggested that you should be able to buy Live for Speed for, let's say, £6, and that lets you spectate in races that you don't own. And then it's like, people are like, are you seriously telling me I should pay to stream a camera view of the game that I'm racing in? I love Live for Speed. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful program. It really, really does feel great. But I think the developers got a little bit too money grabby. I think they would do better giving it away. Sim racing is huge, and honestly, fuck iRacing. You know, I was saying to you, Max, about how expensive sim racing can get. So, I've been watching lots of reviews of various bits.
Hold on. Yeah? Rewind a little bit. Sim racing can get expensive, but it's very much going down one sort of, for example, car racing. You go, car racing kit, I want to do racing with cars, so you need pedals and your steering wheel. There's flight racing, so you have flight, joysticks and flight bits and pieces. Yep. And then there's other stuff. I'm
Space.
But you've got the farming sims and other things. You have to have like 4 PCs if you really want to keep this stuff sort of set up permanently.
Well, the one I'm getting lets you set up steering wheel and hot ass, so it actually has a proper mount for it. But I watched this guy. He's a lovely guy. He sounds a bit like Bob Ross, and he reviews sim racing stuff. And he's reviewing the you just press F1. He was reviewing the Fanatec direct drive wheel. So the Fanatec direct drive wheel is £1,500. Okay, it puts out roughly 10 times the torque of what I'm using here. So it puts out as much torque as a real race car. So you can play with it as if you are genuinely driving a real race car. It's about 30 foot-pounds of torque. That's the point.
I think it might be tab.
Yeah, tab will, but that's great, but I can't reach the keyboard.
Yes, but I can.
Can't reach.
Give me TeamViewer.
Isn't that Windows? I don't think this is Windows 10. This is Windows 8 laptop.
Right.
But I haven't.
Install TeamViewer.
That sounds like a lot of effort.
No.
No, it sounds like a lot of effort. No, yes, but it sounds like a lot of effort rather than just make everyone watch me. But yeah, the steering wheel's £1,500. And it doesn't come with a steering wheel. So it's just the box that you attach the steering wheel to. And the steering wheels go up to another £1,000. So you pay £1,500 for a steering wheel that doesn't come with a steering wheel, and then £1,000 for a steering wheel to put on your steering wheel. It's like
just for the wheel.
Just for the I mean, to be fair, that's a super posh wheel. Don't get me wrong, but I've bought real wheels for real cars for less money than that, and they come with an explosive and an airbag in them.
This shot changing is a bit horrible, actually.
Yeah, it's just
very much jump from one car being centre to the other.
Well, that's how replay cameras work. It's not like a smart replay camera. I mean, I'd be happy just to have a smart tracking cam. I know there are other camera views. Is it C to change camera view?
In this view, I mean, no.
V.
Yes.
Oh god.
But then I can't tab to Schalke.
That's bizarre playing it like that. That's horrible. That's weird. That's horrible too. And here's the corner.
I can watch Schalke make a pig of it too. It's a better news.
So I was to be
you can
fair.
only tab when you're outside in an outside view. Once I'm in the interior, I'm. Oh no, I'm wrong.
Okay.
So you could just have it sort of just randomly press V and press T and just. That would be weird though. That's going to make you vomit.
Yeah, I turned it off quite quickly. Yeah, it surprises me they didn't do this. I mean, I even added this functionality in Fortresscraft, so it would actually, you could leave it in AFK mode, and it would just look at bits of your base. But for a racing game, I think this would just be something you add not long after you have multiplayer, the ability to have a smart spectator that looks cool and watches the race, and so you can just leave it streaming. I still think we should probably get. I think it was R Factor 2 was the one, because that one, it's simmy, it's quite pretty, and it is hugely modded. So we could drive any car, any track, drive on the moon with tanks or whatever. It's they've gone to town. Whereas iRacing is locked down, and I haven't looked. I don't think there's any mods to Live for Speed at all. I think people just got quite happy with the S123.
There is a TV director mod or plugin or something.
Yeah, I don't think that actually is. I think that is to control the stream remotely, I think. I don't know. I came across it and I didn't have time to look at it because it was coming up to 9 o'clock.
The easy option is install TeamViewer, give me the numbers, I can then take control of that machine from here and do things from here.
Well, yeah, but then you can't race, which is rubbish.
Yes, I can. I've got 3 computers in easy reach.
It's alright. It would have been nice just to have support, but I suspect. It's like Project Cars. I don't know of any other game that lets you easily do it. The good advantage with this one is my laptop is running at about 150 frames a second, or it was when I capped it. Because this game is quite undemanding and looks good at the same time. Whereas Project Cars, Project Cars is flickery as shit. So I turned on anti-aliasing, and then my frame rate plummeted. It's like, oh, brilliant. So it can look crap or run crap. Wonderful. But Project Cars was an early VR game, so it doesn't have all of the modern rendering gumph.
Yeah.
Which is a pity. Whereas this one's just old and low demand. I think it's some sort of DX9. Yeah, I watched when we did Project Cars last time, we did Bathurst. I watched a very famous race at Bathurst. But you know the track I mean. That's the one with the super long straight, and before that it's all like downhill snake bends. Yeah. But it's 2 cars doing that. I mean, as fast as they can go, and they're not even a foot apart. It is terrifying. Whereas we were just kind of sliding down it and just being quite happy to get to the bottom. Yeah, the pass-through mode is probably the most fascinating thing about the Oculus, though. So I double-tap the side of my helmet. I won't do it right now. I get to see the world rather than the game, using the cameras. But you can position windows in the AR world. So I could take like my email, and I could just put my email on my desk. So, and then you can obviously then interact with the windows. So Facebook was sort of saying that you could set up an entire office inside your augmented reality. So you'd actually walk around your actual office, but have like massive monitors on the walls and stuff. Which I thought was quite an interesting idea. I can't show it to you because unfortunately I am streaming from the wrong computer.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be playing Project Squadrons, but I wasn't anywhere near as good in VR, and it is pretty intense. But oh wow, is it something else in VR? Because Malcolm was saying, should I get VR? And it's like, honestly, if you haven't played Squadrons in VR, you have not played Squadrons. Remember, I am a 10-year VR vet now, and I just sat in the X-wing for about 5 minutes just looking at it. It is unbelievable in there, absolutely incredible. Like genuinely, like I've not seen computer graphics be in VR before. So super highly recommended.
I mean, what you really want here is, you don't want, and I don't mean in a disrespectful way, but we don't want you chatting about the match, the race. You want someone who's got the spectator view, and he or she is talking about what's going on in the race.
Oh yeah.
And keeping an eye on things, and tabbing between the race leaders and what's happening in front and what's happening further down the track, and commentating.
Yeah.
That'll make a much better, or not better, but certainly more interesting, more engaging stream for people to look at.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I mean, that would.
So you can go on board with people, which is exciting.
Yes, it's just for Live for Speed. We could just do with a bunch, or we could just remove the password from the server and just let people join. There is always that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Let's do that.
Worth a go. You worth a giggle?
Yes. All right.
What's happened to my car skin?
And online host. Start new host. Oops.
Does it let you have blank passwords?
I hope so.
Oh, it does.
Oh. Here, there we go. Should be back up now. I just need to rejoin it on the laptop. Thank heavens for that. I just hit join with a password, but thankfully it doesn't care. It goes, okay. There is no password. Let's just ignore it. Your ping then, Schalke, went from 90 to 1. I assume the 1 was seconds, not milliseconds.
If it goes in red, yes, I imagine it probably would be.
I'm assuming if we all hit go, then that car will go to spectate. Yay. Awesome. Schalke has left the pits. But I have at least 2 things I want to prototype on the Quest with the finger tracking. That's the thing, when I turn on the Quest I need to connect it to the PC every time. But I don't need to find the controllers, I just reach out and just pinch the button to select yes, run Oculus Link. But yeah, one of them was what we talked about yesterday was a...
with the cable plugged in all the time, don't take it out.
There's no wireless option because, as I said, I need 1.7 gigabit of video bandwidth to transfer what I'm seeing now, and wireless is not that reliable yet. It'll get there, I'm sure, but not yet. But yeah, I like the idea of a Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes-esque bathysphere game. And the other one was Amputee, and the other one I'm not going to mention in public because it's such an awesome idea. I think I might actually just write it. No, Max, you have to brake for that corner.
I was braking.
Brake earlier?
I was trying to brake at 50.
Ooh, no. 75.
Yeah, I know it's 100, isn't it, for this car? 75's
alright. As I said, this is a very important thing with racing. You're braking.
Oh, I can watch you driving while I'm playing. Oh, that's nasty. Don't let me do that.
Yeah. But yeah, your entry speed to the corner doesn't matter. Remember, a corner is only 20 meters long. The straight after the corner is 400 meters long. It's very important you take the corner well. I can enter the corners slower than all of you on every single corner, and as long as I exit the corner better, it's fine. So when you want to shave off time or get yourself to be a little bit better, in braking later into the corner, braking hard, that is not the way to do it. It's too easy. I mean, you can do, obviously, but it's way too easy to start making mistakes. So take the corner a little bit slower and just take it perfectly, and you'll come out perfectly. And then you'll just, as you see me do it, you see me come out the chicane and then I just dribble past everybody down the straight. So it's not because I braked later, it's because I just sort of came out nicely. Yeah, I watched a guy and he reviewed a £17 steering wheel, but it came with a copy of Live for Speed S3, and I'm like, oh. Unfortunately, that's now 35 quid, and I can't tell if it actually comes with a copy of the game anymore. But yeah, in theory, that would actually be quite a good purchase if we were going to Live for Speed, because it's a 17 quid wheel with a copy of the game that I think is 30
wheel
quid
that
anyway.
plugs on something else.
No. This is maybe I wasn't clear. The wheel was £17, and then came with a copy of Live for Speed.
Yeah, what kind of wheel are we talking?
A cheap wheel that cost £17.
A wheel that I can put on my car, a wheel that you can eat? What kind of wheel are we talking?
A steering
A
wheel?
wheel of some kind.
It came with Live for Speed. It comes with a free copy of Live for Speed, a USB steering wheel for a computer.
Right.
It comes with a free copy of Live for Speed.
It was £17.
£17, yeah.
When was this?
Well, I can find the wheel and it's £32 on Amazon. But I don't know for a fact it comes with a free copy of the game, because if it does, I was recommending that everyone just buys that to get a licensed version of the game. It was the steering wheel is called the Sierra Tracer. Don't get me wrong, it's not a good steering wheel. It's got it doesn't have force feedback, not at that price. Not as far as I can tell, but it does have vibration of some sort. Oh, we've had our first random. Nico Boko. Is that you on the straight there, Max, or was that Nico Boko?
That's me on the screen.
Okay, I can't. You're just literally
It's the orange one, I think.
9 black pixels right now. Now you're a bunch of green pixels. Now you're a bunch of spinning.
I'm doing the apex. The W chicane.
Okay, no, that was Nico Boko who just joined and immediately just ploughed off the ploughed off.
Whoopsie.
Wow, that was a dirt. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised, and I have had a look and I haven't found one, that there isn't a ultra realistic open source racing game with absolutely everything. I guess with open source,
Well, because the problem is you're going to invest that. Oh, open source always surprises me, but the amount of effort you'd go to then go, here, have it for free.
well, yeah, but that's how people are.
Well, there's some things that are open source. I'm like, here, this is open source. I'm like, I never want to dive into the source code ever. Thank you very much. You know?
Yes, I mean, Transport Tycoon, is open source and very, very good. But it surprises me because then you can get something. I'd say what I would like. I'd like a game with Live for Speed style physics, real, actual, honest to god, proper car physics, and cops and robbers or other silly game modes. BeamNG does have a little bit of that, but I don't think they're multiplayer. So BeamNG is a semi-soft body simulator.
What does that mean, semi?
It's not.
Half, obviously. But
It's not an entire. It's not a proper full soft body sim. Not quite. It's nearly. But you can do astounding amounts of damage to your car. It's like the same as what was that game called we played? One Sane, that sort of thing. But yeah, I would love to see a cops and robbers game set in a city where you have to evade everybody and get out there, and there's full traffic, but it's proper physics. There's none of this drifting rubbish. It's all about proper corners and apex. It's about run each other. Smacking up a curb means you lose a wheel. I think it would make for some just absolutely fantastic fun. But yeah, I'm surprised there isn't a generally widely accepted open source racing game by now. I mean, don't forget, this game was only written by 3 people.
What?
This is just 3 people, this game. Eric Skaven and the 2 artists, and I forgot the name of them, and I apologise. I mean, over a long time, you didn't just knock it out over a weekend. Like, this is not written by a big team.
Was this a sort of hobby of theirs, or they actually sponsored paid for it?
Well, I mean, the BMW that we drive in the car was paid for by BMW. And as I said, there's a steering wheel, and you can get a free copy of the game.
What else have they done? What else is
nothing. I think they just do this. I mean,
patch this and update this through Steam. No, it's not through Steam, is it?
No, it's not through Steam. Yeah, it should be. You'd make so much more money sticking it on Steam. Like as I said to people, I don't agree with Steam. Steam is the big monopoly. It is a big issue for a consumer. But I like Steam slightly more than I like typing my credit card details into a random indie games website. So if it was on Steam, I would probably buy it. Just click, there we go, done. But yeah, I genuinely think he's made a bad idea. As I said, I feel these guys are a little bit too money keen, and I think it actually hurts how much money they make. Stuff like, you should be able to spectate any race for free. Currently, if it's an S2 race, you need to have an S2 license in order to spectate it. Like, what? So to do what we're doing here, I would need to buy 2 copies of the game. So that's 2 steering wheels I need to buy.
I can understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, if you think about racing in real life, you don't get to spectate races for free.
No, but in this case, I would literally be running a Twitch TV channel to show off the game to other people. Oh no! Has he ballsed it? Has he? No, he hasn't. That was very close.
I suck it in early so it didn't go entirely wrong.
I'm surprised that the replay camera, by the way, doesn't even have the option just for first place. You don't need any smarts, just show me who's in first. Currently it's just showing me, well, me.
You can watch other people while you're playing, that's the weird thing.
I'm
driving down the straight, I can then switch over to look at Nikaboko or you or Xiaoko. I'm like, what?
Well, let's hope Nikaboko does better. He's in a black car.
I can't
Oh, where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah. Don't think of it as third. Think of it as second, first place. No, third, first place. Hey, let's just do a rolling roadblock and not let him pass.
I can't see him, I can see Tim on there.
Literally to your left. You just hit him.
Oh well. Whee! This is fun. How do you go in a corner? You're right, this is bumpers.
Rushing is not that fun.
Nah, not for you. If you do it in the lift, it's quite fun.
Yeah, fucking. I actually got kind of fun in not trying to wreck everybody else. I guess wrecking has its own fun.
I think once Max gets VR, and you do, when you're moving left and right, this is so much like driving a real car. I kind of feel a bit weird not wearing a seatbelt. It's that level of real. So in this case, when you are pulling across, you know, in a car, you don't just like blindly go from one lane to the other without checking. Well, not many times you don't before you end up in hospital. And it's the same thing here. It's so real, you just check your mirrors and your blind spots without even thinking about it. Yeah.
Well, that's because you've got VR and you've got easy sort of swivel your head.
Well, you do have.
You can't swivel your head easily in the game, so you've got to know the controls.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you are playing this on the mouse or whatever, external view is so much easier than internal view. It really, really is. Obviously, that's no good. Well, I can play an external view in VR, but it's not very nice. Oh man, you guys are all neck and neck up there. You need to get some distance. Come back to
kind of learned not to crash by crashing a bit. And in less simi games, you don't get to crash, so you develop the crash driving style.
Yeah, I mean, in Forza, if you crash, it's like, oh well, bounce off, carry on. In this, if you crash, it's not fatal. It just means that 3 laps later, your car breaks. Oh, is that Nicoboko and Max? Absolutely neck and neck. Oh no, Nicoboko's fucked it. He's at the back there.
Yeah, that's a different motive than it being so real that you use real habits, but if the punishment system is the same or faithful to actual consequences, that can be the motive to
Yes.
have some safety margins.
Oh yeah, I mean, like in Burnout, you can drive like an idiot because the game doesn't punish you. But in this one, we learn.
Microphone.
Huh? What?
Get
What?
the microphone.
Give you the microphone.
No, get nearer.
I.
You're talking quite quietly away from the microphone, and the sound, the noise suppression just cuts you out.
Oh, that's only for you. That's sorry about that. Yeah, that's the steering wheel. So if I talk like that and make a noise, you might struggle to hear me. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't put the microphone too close to my face for one very good reason. I can't see it.
Yeah.
Now, there is a microphone in the helmet, but I've not tried it yet. But I'm assuming it's going to be crap. Oh, messed up. Oh, who went in the pits?
Schalke.
Nope.
Ah, Nicoboko then.
He probably
He's
reset
behind
it.
me, yeah. Oh, I see your string. Yeah, it's really... Put that behind.
Incidentally, Kohaka, if you want to join, there's no password. Anyone. If anybody wants to join, this game is free. We're playing the free mode. Create an account. The game name is LockDown. Just come and join. I'd love to see a full pack of this. I think we're limited to 24 players in S1. I think that'd be this. So as I was saying in the chat, the headset for this VR. The strap for this VR headset is fucking awful. There is a better one, but it's an extra 35 quid. And if I was going to be using this one seriously, I would definitely get the better strap.
When I was reading comments about it, someone was saying the better strap would be, the harder strap's better, but why didn't you put the battery at the back? And someone's answer was, well, if you put the battery behind your head, then you can't lie down and watch stuff.
Yeah.
You can just lie down in bed, watch films and things.
Right, okay, but the simple answer to that is, first of all, no one does that. Secondly, get a pillow. And thirdly, just have the battery on a wire. Done.
I thought that one of the primary drivers of virtual reality or any new technology would be the kind of thing that would be associated with lying down.
No, it's normally it's face downwards rather than face upwards. I think I actually saw that too. And I have to say, it's not too bad. I mean, this helmet is a bit front heavy. It is much heavier than my Oculus CV1, but obviously it has an actual entire computer in it. So in that sense, it's actually impressively light, and it's still about an eighth of the weight of my motorbike helmet. The real issue I was having initially was the cable. So I bought a 90-degree cable now, and the cable is now running backwards. So the cable is supported by the strap rather than dangling down on the front of my face. So I have slightly improved it by buying a slightly better cable. But for 300 quid, I mean, this is a lot better than the last one. And they are promising that they're going to improve the resolution and the frame rate. They just didn't update it for this. This is still Quest 1 levels of quality.
So it's capable of better, but they haven't...
Yeah, so the
Quest... the firmware? I mean, the screen's going to be the same,
so the Quest 1 ran at, let's say, 102.4.768 for sake of argument. And it ran at 800 megabit, and it ran at 72 frames a second. So I'm currently at 102.4.768 at 800 megabit at 72 frames a second. The Quest 2, which is what I am using, can do way better, but they haven't updated the Link software yet to transmit a better image to my PC. They are promising it's coming next month, though. I think they were a bit worried by the G2, and they needed to get the Quest out. But you'll notice when the G2 lands, they're saying that some people won't get theirs till January. This came out on the 12th, I bought it off Amazon. I had it delivered to my house within 15 hours.
Mad.
Yeah, that's the.
What happened with the G2? I mean, surely it's just the hype train got started too early.
No, I think. Jesus Christ, this guy's a maniac. Yeah, fuck off. There you go. I think a lot of it was. I think they got somewhat overwhelmed with their demand. And then, as we know, there was a last-minute change to the lenses. So I suspect they pulled.
Presumably had to then debox everything, take it all out of the boxes.
I am hazarding a guess that has been the delay. Yes.
What a nightmare.
Is that you just right behind me, or is it Shalka? No,
Right,
it's
yeah.
Shalka.
Shack up your ass. Yeah.
So yeah, this is the difference, of course. I mean, HP on the other hand is huge, but theirs is quite a niche product. This is a product in itself. This is something you can buy. I can buy this for my mum.
Yeah.
You don't go and now plug this into your high-end gaming rig. It will work on anything, and I think that's one of its advantages. And it's bonkers. I can plug it into a USB hub. It doesn't need a HDMI cable or DisplayPort. It's just one completely standard USB-C cable.
There's a bit of juice.
Just no. Well, yeah, but it's all down the USB-C cable.
Yeah.
Whereas the G2, they said we're now going to have to supply you with an external power brick, which you have to use because we found a way to do something, but it requires more power. Wow, this guy is a nightmare.
So that may be that they've got to get a bunch of more cardboard and some new tooling made up to make the sort of right box shape and everything.
Yeah.
What sympathises? And hurry the fuck up.
Well, yeah. I mean, this one does stuff that no other headset does, which is partly why I got it. It's the only standalone one on the market. Well, there's two now, Quest 1 and Quest 2. And it's the only one that does finger tracking. So I have got it for some dev reasons. But I suspect the G2 will be hugely better. Better be. Right, so let's see if we can do better this time. I'm kind of expecting more people to join. I can't check. There's no way to like do anything with the host from here. Unfortunately, so I can't check. For example, I've accidentally left it at 4 player. Oh, if I hit pits, no, I can't do anything here.
Does that mean that everyone that has an axe to grind with you can come grief in this game?
Absolutely, bring it. I bet you 6 pence the guy jumps the lights. Oh man, I owe absolutely no one's 6 pence because they'll took me up on the bet. But yeah, Max, this will be definitely a good one for you to get your VR legs on because you now know how to play it without having to look down at the controls or go, what's button 6 again? Did he just take you? Did you guys just crash already?
Yes. They're ended, I'll say.
Maybe he's just
I have a
downloading.
feeling that I did the turn quite well, but
Yes, you did, but I slowed you down because I was in the way.
would have pushed it a little more, but have to have the margins.
Push it on the last lap, not the first one. What did I just tell you? That was a wonderful skid. I thought for a minute you were going to hold it and just drift round. Oh, gently, Max. Off the accelerator when it starts to go wrong. That's actually you. I saw you swerving a bit. That's actually an excellent bit of advice, even in a real car. If it all starts going wrong, take your foot off the accelerator, don't put your foot on the brake. I mean, not if you're stopping for a child stepping out in front of you, obviously, but if it's I've lost control of the car due to black ice or water, Take your foot on the accelerator. Don't stamp on the brake. Worry about steering really well. That's the real issue. And obviously, a bit of your brain would be spent braking. A bit of your brain is spent fiddling with accelerator. Just put all your brain power onto steering. And I mean, I've done that in real life. I've done that on track and in games. You just sort of coast round, just going yeah. And when you can, if you in reality more than in a race game, eventually you straighten up and you just slam on the brakes. Once you've got control of the car, get it going straight, and then you can stop it. Should we restart for poor Nikobo, by the way, who has just driven into the pits?
Seems to often do non-racy things. So.
Well, maybe he's just downloaded it. Maybe it's Kohaka and he hates us.
Maybe. But love and heat are good for engagement.
Who's handbrake on?
You always start with the handbrake on. Oh man, I was looking at handbrakes and shifters as well. Like big.
They're expensive, aren't they?
Well, no.
No. To play one game, it's mad.
Well, no, to play every racing game ever.
Assuming it even integrates with it.
Well, in this case, it does. This is where you get.
Oh, he just took Schalke out. Oh, he's a complete novice, this bloke. He just went sideways in Schalke.
But it's a proper rally style one, so it's a big aluminium pole, 2 feet long.
The hole's still down the side, vented sort of down the side of it.
No, it's a shifter. It's just a big aluminium pole that you just bang forwards and pull backwards to change gear, and it looks awesome. And I'm like, oh, I want that. And I was like, oh, that's 160 quid for, or you could pay 1,000. But there's one particularly 160 quid. And I'm like, yeah. And then Banggood recommended to me some absolutely bonkers looking ones for real rally cars. Now, note 2 things. One, it's on Banggood, and 2, these things are 30 quid. So there's no way I'd put them in a real car. But I'm like, I wonder how hard it would be to hook that up to an Arduino and do it like that.
Just have like a potentiometer or something.
Yeah, a load cell is the more preferred way of doing it. Potentiometers are a bit crap. A load cell measures pressure, a potentiometer measures position.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Oh, he's left. Oh, sad face. Honestly,
He was a bit rubbish.
he's not going to join a server with people who are forgiving of that. Most people would have kicked him the first time that happened. But notice, see, I've trained you guys up. You are now awesome compared to that guy. But you don't notice it because obviously
we were that guy.
Yeah, well, you all get better at more or less the same rate, so you don't notice often that you are getting better. But that just goes to show what happens if someone joins it. He's just downloaded it for the first time. But I am surprised. Like, if he's been in any other lobbies, everywhere else will kick him and ban him for hitting someone. And we all suck. Like, we all suck at this game. Really, did I really do a 151? That's actually pretty good.
I've done 158.
That's anything under 2 minutes is good. What about you, Shaka?
Okay.
What's your best?
54.
I assume that's of the day rather than all time.
It's this race, I think.
Okay. That can't be. I'm about to finish my first lap. Like, you don't count from the first lap because obviously it's a standing start, not a rolling start.
I don't know what it counts from. I guess it's all day or session.
Oh, it could be session, yeah.
So this game's a simulator, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Does it simulate what happens with tyres and rubber and hot tarmac and things like that?
Yep.
Yes.
If you, at some point, go into the garage and click drop car. Look at the tyres. Look what the tyres do. So they actually properly deform. It's got tyre wall deflection. It's got everything. Now, one thing I haven't seen a game do. So in a real track day, when I go on a track day, I am pretty much looking at 2 things. 3 if you include fuel consumption. My tyre temperature and my brake temperature. Now, these are race cars, but you can, if you're doing like, you know, a 30 lap race and you're very aggressive, you won't finish it. You'll run out of tyres or brakes. Whereas this game doesn't really support that in any way, shape or form, which is a bit of a shame. Because you don't have to worry about it. It does, it's got it, but basically we've got race spec tyres on, so we don't care.
If we change to more challenging things, does it then start to matter?
I think if we do longer races, it might. Incidentally, can you guys see on the left-hand side of the Speedo the temperature gauge and the clock?
Yeah.
Do you know what the one on the right is? It took me ages to work it out.
What?
Clock, I don't really get what you're referring to.
To the left of your...
We're not in the same car as you.
Okay. Tell me all the gauges you can see on your car, please. Either of you. You got
Fuel.
Yep.
Tacho.
Yep.
Speedo.
Yep.
Engine temperature. That's
Engine.
all I've got.
Engine.
Oh, I've got the
Wait. Hold on. What is the engine temperature measured in?
0 to 1.
That's the water temperature.
Yeah.
Do you have any other gauges?
Yeah. Oh no, that's it.
Are you really?
That's the gauges. Yeah.
4 lights, but that's
Some lights
pretty much
closed, yeah.
it.
I've got fogs. I've got rear window demist.
I mean, obviously,
Lights
not
for
right now, but
indicators.
if you glance left, do you get some, or right, in shout case, do you get some more,
I don't have to glance left.
I don't know, I don't know what the default key is either. Obviously, don't do it now. So, I've got 3 gauges. The left-hand one is a clock, which is cool. The middle one is the water temperature. And the right-hand one, it took me ages to work it out. I thought it was vacuum pressure. It's the frame rate. So that's awesome. When I was doing it before, the frame rate was jiggling between 72 and 35 because of reprojection. So it was just like jiggling back and forwards. And then I realised the other day the frame rate is at 72, which is what the VR headset updates at. I'll switch to your car in a minute, see if I can work out where the gauge is. Oh man, front wheel drive. Ugh. Feel like I'm driving a Nissan Micra.
I should make that gauge maybe specific to you.
It might. Well, there is an option to. I think it's in one of the options. It's. I'll look at it. I think it's called FPS instead of clock. But I have a clock, and I can see it's 10:05. I love this. I love VR. I love being able to just glance at the clock, the real clock, and just see what the time is. Something else I was playing in VR, and I really wish it had a clock. I'm surprised there aren't any. No, I'm surprised they don't. That more games that like even Monkey Island had a real clock in it. But I could do with here. I'm surprised that there isn't like a real clock above the start finish straight.
Or rather than your lap or.
Well, as well as certainly. Well, that my best lap's 1:41. Come on, car. Actually, we'll call that one a win for me, and you can carry on, and I will switch to the XF GTI. Now I'm going to need to colour, of course.
It's not how the force works. Can't declare a win.
New colours. Okay. I just heard someone go.
DJ Argas did not finish. The
Oh.
winner first, the winner race you must first finish it.
Just out of curiosity, what's the stream showing now?
I have no idea.
I would guess that it would change to next valid car.
Yeah, shower car, I presume.
Okay. Oh, this one doesn't have a frame rate gauge. I'm just looking around in VR. What the hell? That makes no sense at all. Oh, I'll come and there is a button by the way for enable pit limiter. I don't know what it is.
Limiter.
Yeah. Oh man, how come I don't get a frame rate gauge? I've got a radio, and I've got 3D modelled air conditioning buttons. So I am going to suck, by the way. Make the most of it while I try and remember how. Never mind. Max is just. You right there, Max?
Yep.
You seem to have just.
Oh, we're staring at you now. On the stream.
So you are not crazy?
No, he's looking at the stream. Next time when you're back, and I'll give it a restart.
I just want to work out what button to press to get the.
It says invoking the principle that if other people don't finish, you can't lose.
Virtual steering gauge. No.
Are you looking for
About to
the?
go bankrupt in Monopoly? Just flip the table.
Are you looking up the FPS instead of clock option?
I just want to find out how to get the FPS on the screen. Full stop.
Oh, okay. So if you click on display, I might be view. In the top right is an annoying little picture with a plus and minus and a car. It's a broken fucking dialogue. In the very, very top right, a little picture of a car.
I'm not seeing the top right.
It's only under view, display, layout, one of those. I can't remember which it is, but it's not in the main options. It's off, top right more.
Oh yes.
Right.
Left.
So plus and
I don't see it
minus.
anywhere.
Huh?
I've got off, left, right.
For what?
Frame rate display.
Okay.
Oh right, there we are.
Oh, you found it. Right now that.
So left. Where is it hiding in? When I put it on left.
Hold on. You're totally not looking at the right thing. So under options, under
If I go right, I can see.
under graphics, the very, very top option is user log. Yeah.
Yep.
To the right of that, what do you see?
Oh, like plus minus and a little car. Yeah.
You click the little car. It means show whilst I am in the car, but if you use the minus button, it doesn't work. So that's very annoying. You only get the really annoying view with sleep physics and weight.
Oh, right.
But I don't know why this car doesn't have a frame rate gauge. Like realistic.
Oh, I see that stays on the screen.
Yeah, but that's what the car button means. It means stay on the screen. You can also just go options, graphics, and then just
But
look
if I
at it.
wanted to go onto the left, then it's not giving me.
I
anything
don't
on the
know
left.
what that is. Where's that under? Is that display?
So options display. You've got frame rate off. Obviously, that's turned it off. Right. It pushes all your position, the track, everything down.
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah, and then it's above it.
Yeah, but left. Where the hell's it going when I hit left? I have no idea.
I'm just looking around my car in VR now. No, that appears to be a lie. Oh good, I didn't realise I could put it up there. I will put it up there. Oh, I think I know where it is. If you put the small map on the left, it is underneath. I think the frame rate counter is underneath the word options display.
Oh, right.
Or it might be behind the wing mirror. I think it might actually be underneath the logo. So that logo is there because we're playing the demo version.
Oh, it's just it's blocking it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes some sense
I
there.
appear to have stalled.
Yes, because we've been spending too long.
Right. Where's this pit limiter as well?
Yeah, apparently that's one of the controls.
Buttons 1. Speed
Yeah.
limiter L. Okay.
Button 2. Circle maybe? Button 2 is. Well, I found what handbrake is. Just circle.
Oh, let's you look behind you.
Yeah, and there's also a look left and a look right as well. Oh, this car does not have a pit lane speed limiter. Brilliant.
You didn't put one in.
But yeah, when I'm talking about like the sequential shifter, you can also buy handbrakes that work the same way. So that instead of trying to find a button, you have a big handbrake beside you. You just reach out and grab when you want to do a drift or something.
Oh, there we go. I can just restart the car.
Actually, give me 2 seconds just to reset my headset. Yeah, basically it's either loose across the top of my head or it's loose across everything. It's just awful. This strap is absolutely terrible and must have cost £1 to make, if that, probably 15p. Right. I am back and I have some catching up to do in a car that absolutely sucks. The metaphorical big one.
I'm supposed to break the engine by pressing ignition while I'm driving.
In theory, the starter motor will give you more speed.
More power!
Not much more power, it has to be said.
No, I think I'm broken. No, it's still working. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I doubt the game
That
simulates that.
No.
As I said, it's all about your
It
X.
took different.
Yeah, it took different
My
what?
tires are new.
Oh, there are different tyres, by the way. I have never fiddled with them, as I don't really. I'd have to look it up. It's not very clear what the differences are. As a rule of thumb, though, in real life, the better the tyres, the stickier they are, and the quicker they run out. There's always a trade-off. Like the best tyres, as I've mentioned before, sprint tyres, they won't last 10 miles. Oh wow, that 10 miles you'll get some laps out of them. But that's people doing very short sprints. And with a lot of money. But yeah, I would like a shifter and like a big bang. So you just basically every time you come in, you just reach out and you just smack the shifter forwards, and then it's a big aluminium lever you can then pull backwards to have an analog handbrake. I don't need one, I just want one. I think they look awesome. And the one on Banggood came with a range of anodized colours as well, which is
In a range or with a range?
in a range, in a massive range of colours, which is fairly pointless, obviously, because I am in VR.
So the cheapest one, obviously.
Yes, well, the cheapest one doesn't have a USB cable on it. It's a real one, and I would need to work out some way of measuring its position. But I'm looking at doing that anyway. I'm looking at 3D printing an add-on for my HOTAS to give me a little box, and then the Arduino turns up as a DirectX device. The problem is, it's just this repository on GitHub, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know which Arduino to buy, and they all seem to expect you to do soldering. Like, I want an Arduino, but with a like terminal blocks, not holes. I don't have a I do have a soldering iron, but I don't think I want any solder, and I shouldn't be allowed near either of them anyway. Wow, I can really put the power down during the corners in this car. In the rear-wheel drive car, that just ends up with you seeing the inside of the corner. Right here, not quite flat out, but you can lose your speed on the way into the corner and then just keep your foot down all the way out. But like a real front-wheel drive car. And there is a good school of thought that says if you can hear tyre squeal, you're going too fast as well. I'm not sure this game is modelled that accurately.
Hello?
Thank you. Oh.
40. Very nice.
It's a shame we don't actually know our all-time best, because that's the best way of tracking your progress. I mean, if I was writing the game, I would keep. I mean, actually, to be honest, the website might, because I think pretty sure this is all fed back to the central server. So it'd be fascinating to see if it graphed your best lap time over time. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think this is all going to go very wrong for a Schalke, but let's have a give it a go. Nope, just me. The other thing I like about this game is the cars are quite sensible. I think this one's got about 110 horsepower. So, and I forgot what cars we're doing, like the Audi A1s. I've nearly always found that all my best races, all my most fun races, have been in very sensible cars. It's kind of fun, like, you know, blazing around in a BAC mono, but it kind of just boils down to luck. I'm not that good, I'm not that fast. Whereas when your car is actually quite slow, like this one, it's a lot more fun. Because your mistake only costs you 1/10 of a second, not 3 seconds. But one thing I would like to do, with the finger track, is I would like to redo amputee with finger tracking.
Wouldn't that make it really easy?
Well, if it sells for £5 and I sell 150 copies, I have made my money back on the quest. I want to do a remake of amputee in a modern version of Unity anyway, so I could port it to console. Now here comes the hard part, not messing up this corner. So that's the drawback with this car, is the braking and the steering and the acceleration is all on one set of tyres, which are working very, very hard.
Miles back there just to keep the car in place.
Yeah, and your handbrake, and you know, a little bit of rear braking, but not much. In real life, you do front-wheel drive cars because they are more predictable, they are less likely to kill you, and it means that your gearbox, etc., is at the same part. Like the engine connects the gearbox and then connects the wheels all within about 6 inches. Whereas the rear-wheel drive car, you have to come out of the car to the gearbox and out from the gearbox to the rear, and then from there to the rear differential. And that's quite a large amount of machinery. Whereas, well, well, not so much, but with the front-wheel drive car, it means you can just sell one box. It's the whole thing. It's the steering assembly and the engine and the gearbox all in one box. Whereas with my car, that one box would be, 15 feet long. I still don't have a notification on my motion platform, by the way. I'm sad. They reckon it'd take up to 2 weeks to ship. And it's been 12 days. 12 the longest days of my life. That's not true.
Have you got a chair ready to bolt it onto?
I bought a replacement DX Racer because my old one was knackered. So I'm using my old one for it. Like I take it.
You've got to bolt it to something as well.
I have
like
bought. Yeah, I bought a set of generic sliders off Amazon at 15 quid. It's just what you would put between a chair and a car. It's completely standard. And then I already have everything else. I just need 3 or 4 hours to set it up, and then I'll try to work out where I want to put the webcam. Like I see a lot of people, they mount the webcam on the chair, so as it moves around, the chair stays still, the person playing it stays still. The world shakes instead. But I'll see, it might be a terrible, terrible, terrible thing, or it might be just the best thing I've ever done. But that was the last lap. I do want to look into getting MAME to work with it. I don't think that is currently the case, because then you can play Space Harrier or Outrun or Afterburn or whatever with all the full feedback.
The vibrations and the bass speed, I think.
Yes, the works, which would be good, because that's what I'm still looking towards the future with the arcade. 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, whatever. Okay, I'm going for my drift setup. Yeah, so I've now got a locked rear diff. So what is your best lap time now, Max?
1 minute 48. You can see it on screen.
That was just the last race.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Okay, let's see if it comes up here, because I haven't actually paid any attention. No, you can't do that. You have to wait for the lights to go green.
I can do that. It's not going to go over there. Just log in.
Yeah, be curious. We'll wait to see what it says. I'd be curious to see whether or not that is the case. Kohaka, I don't know, is the short answer. I mean, you've got me on Discord. Link me the correct Arduino to buy for this, and I will make it. But I don't know what to buy, and I can't solder. And you said breadboard, and I already don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Breadboard is a board you push components into, and that's all you need to do. But you just have to solder something into the Arduino.
You've used the S word. I don't want the S word. No S word.
No sodomy. I mean, soldering.
Also no sodomy. Not on my channel, sir.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where the hell my performance is. Is it somewhere up there?
I don't know. I don't even know if it does. I assume it does. I assume that's something they...
Account status, personal details. Car setups. None. Car skins. Yeah. Add credit. Notifications. No. Moderator notes. Friends.
I think you're looking out the window at the windmills. That is so cool of you. I have to say, I don't think the field of view is very good on this headset either. But it comes with a gasket for my glasses, so my face is... But I wear very low profile glasses, so I might not need it. I should probably find out.
There's nothing on there that says I've done so many races and here's my best.
Like that's a shame. I think they've missed a trick if it's not. I would have assumed it did. Okay, but Kohaka, if you could link me the right one, because Arduinos start at like £4, and the Arduinos are so cheap. People seem to sell job lots of them. Like, buy 5 Arduinos for £12. Like, I don't want 5. I just want 1. Sell me 1. Don't sell me 5. Oh well, that's all right. Let's just see if we can get some. My steering wheel. Let's see if we can get some better lap times in game.
You can crank up the braking force. Wouldn't that like improve braking times?
Yes, at the risk of the car spinning. Obviously, the more braking force you have, the more likely it is to spin. Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to go mad, I mean, you can play with the ride height. I mean, I can make it like that, or I can make it all the way down like this. What's the default? But this is one of those where you realise very quickly that the people that set this car up knew what they were doing and you don't. But in theory, I could drop the ride height of this car loads, get a little bit of pressure at the tyres, then you've got parallel steering, you've got all sorts of complicated things. But yeah, in theory, more brakes is better. In theory, ABS is better as well. Because the thing about ABS is ABS makes your car stop in a longer distance. You have the advantage of being able to steer while you brake. But, as I said, you're not supposed to be doing that anyway. Steering and braking means you've already screwed up that particular corner. So, in theory, ABS gives you a bit of an advantage. In practice as well, though, if you just slam on the brakes on a corner, you will just pirouette into the barrier. Anyway, let's give that one another go. If you twiddle with your brakes, by the way, are you risking fiddling with your setup?
I am risking. I made all kinds of random tweaks.
Oh dear. Are you joining us, Max?
I've had enough actually to be
okay.
Sorry.
That's alright. What time is it? Oh, I can look at my clock. I mean, I'm happy to play something else. That's kind of why we started early. I think I'm happy with the replay thing. That's cool. It's a shame we don't have about a dozen people to play with, because I think that would make it far more interesting. Too much braking, Schalke.
Had to try whether I feel the difference, and I don't really know.
Yes, you did. That was terrifying. But yeah, I mean, if you like it, we can swatch to Squidrons after this, or something. Not a big for the raft.
Oh wow!
What?
So my hero captured the land. I got to about level 500 of 1,000 on my hero, and I managed to unlock. You got level 5 or something. I managed to unlock weapons that replenish your armor.
Yes.
Armor that renewed your weapon damage.
Yes.
And basically, something the helmet that gave you health. It's basically,
Yeah.
you could just basically everything was one hit kill, and just left it idling. And said, "Oh, you've captured this thing." Oh, cool.
Yes. You can now make heroic buildings, but I don't know if they last through restarts. I assume they do. I'm just not in a position where I can even begin to afford a heroic building yet.
50 million gold, 50 billion stone. Bloody
Yeah.
hell no.
But I
I
assume
should build a wheat field.
they last through restart because obviously you can't make more than one hero.
Yeah. But then the next hero is even more expensive.
No, the hero's the same, just the next academy is more expensive.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
And the suspension,
Uh-huh.
and my car is what's bouncier.
What did you do with the suspension?
I reduced how much it.
Reduce the ride height?
Well, not that much. A little bit of that too, because of random tweaks, but mostly the how much it dampens.
Yes.
Of course, that it
Yeah, I mean,
applies it slower.
as a rule of thumb, in a real car, you want it as low as you can, you want the suspension as hard as you can, and you want as much dampening as you can. In practice, that's not realistic because you will vibrate your spine to pieces, the car will start to bend and shatter, and in my cases I've had to have my car raised because the tyres start to slam into the wheel arches. But in a computer game, they don't tend to care about that too much.
But my Vio is doing funky things, and I think that's connected.
Possibly.
And almost ban on that, where I crawled.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the default setup's pretty good. My only complaint with it is the final drive is too short. So you can't max the car out down the straight. It's a slightly longer final drive ratio. Sorry, slightly shorter final drive ratio. So you should be hitting red line in 5th gear at about the same point as you're about to brake. That means you're accelerating all the time down the straight. I'll be curious to see how the stream comes back because I quite like the idea of a automated director. I'll have a look at so that thing you linked in the Discord chat, Max. Is that a mod or a is it a pro?
It's on the Live for Speed website.
Yeah, but is it what is it? Does it connect to the same game we're on and then press the keyboard buttons, or is it?
I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
I looked on the forums.
I've also put a golf ball underneath my steering on my brake pedal to make it feel better, and I keep forgetting, so I'm not pushing the brake all the way down. Basically, the last little bit's very hard to press. And if you've ever used a real race car, they don't have they have what's called very progressive brakes, so you have to push really, really hard on the brake pedal to stop. It's not like a road car, where it's pretty much road car is no brakes, a little bit of brakes, lots of brakes. Whereas a race car, you want every gradation between no brakes and full brakes. And I think it was what manufacturer was it? It wasn't Volvo. I think it was Skoda. They analysed a whole bunch of crashes And they found a whole huge number of the crashes could have been avoided if the driver had just braked harder. So now what they do is if they detect what they consider to be an emergency braking situation, which is generally where you pull your foot off the accelerator very fast and then put it onto the brake pedal, and you push the brake pedal very quickly, they assume that it's a proper braking situation and they will brake harder than you are trying to brake. Because most of the time people underestimate how good a car is at stopping. I mean, with a modern car, if you want to stop, you just bury the middle pedal all the way as hard as you can. Don't try and modulate it. The computer will do everything for you. Just press it as hard as you can, and the computer will bring you to a halt. Whereas lots of people, they don't do that and end up ploughing into the car in front or whatever.
Because you're used to sort of being a bit more gentle with it.
Well, unless you've either been on track or played computer games, when the hell would you ever do an emergency stop in your car other than your test?
I did it once.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I've done this on occasion in the Impreza. You know, around a roundabout, I've gone as fast as I can, 3 o'clock in the morning, just to find out where it goes, and I've done a full-speed emergency stop. I've braked from 100 miles an hour down to stop, so I have a vague clue of what the car will do. Obviously on track, almost, every track has 100 mile an hour down to 20 mile an hour type corner, so you get a very good feel. I mean, I've done the hundreds of the equivalent of emergency brakes in my car, but most people, you might do a couple maybe. I've done it in my bike as well, because in a car, if you screw up a emergency stop, I mean, you'll get vibration from the ABS, but that's about your lot. Screw it up on a bike, the bike will just fall over. So I have practiced hard braking on my bike as well to try and find things. You can't find the limit. I found the limit in my Scooby once, put my foot down, and there was just clouds of smoke and the whole car went very light. In a bike, if you try that, it's too late. So you can't ever find the limit on a motorbike. You can just come closer to finding the limit.
Be sorry that you found it.
I found it once before and I ended up in hospital with a broken wrist. So that's why my current bike is ABS.
What did you do with the old one out of interest?
I tried to find someone who would put the engine into my smart car and failed. In the end, the insurance bought it back off me for £500 more than I paid for it. So, result. You mentioned about the braking line in this one. Because we've all been playing pretty consistently, there's a massive bunch of tread marks, from this session on the ground. So you just have to brake where all the other skid marks are. So that's quite cool.
Surely that eventually becomes slick and makes it harder to brake.
No, absolutely. That makes it eventually the more tarmac on the more tread, more rubber on there, the grippier it gets. Think of a dragster, where they put
so rubber on rubber, yeah.
Rubber on rubber, yeah. But yeah, I have put R Factor 2 onto my wish list, so when it goes on sale, I think that will be a good one to get, because it's super duper moddable, so we can do all sorts of silly things. And
platform?
It's on Steam. And I have really enjoyed Forza. I just lack of VR support. Apparently it's got motion platform support but no VR support, which is just like, huh? Alright, circle is handbrake on. And it stays on. Awesome. I've learned. Right, let's come out of the VRs then. It has to be pits. No, how do we correct? End race. Yeah.
I finished it while the
end
race was ending. So.
Oh, hey, Drift Maniac. Your timing's terrible. We were just stopping playing Live for Speed to play with some spaceships. We've been doing action replay camera, and VR, which has been actually quite good. I will look into doing that more. Let me just Google LFS TV director, like images. can't actually see what it does. Videos. I don't understand. Is it just a new set of cameras for Live for Speed, or?
Well, it says hello everyone's looking for onboard cameras, so.
Yeah, but I want it to intelligently pick. The only practical workaround I know of in multi-car races is switch between different car models and their onboards. Huh? Right, let me unplug this and plug in that. And I'll switch from streaming on one computer to streaming on the other, so I will need to bounce the stream. But yeah, Bennett, you missed my astounding drifting. Just I'll edit the stream title. It'll be like 2 short streams all one next to each other. But I don't feel any VR sickness at all. I feel absolutely fine after that. I feel a bit warm, but it is actually quite warm in here. As it always is at the end of the day. So I'm going to just drop the stream and then immediately bring the stream back up from a different computer. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next